People look at stories through different lenses. I have my own personal take on some of these trending issues. Hi, I'm Mariah Ramharack and welcome to In Case You Missed It.
Hello and welcome to In Case You Missed It. This week we continue to feature some of the top netballers from around the Caribbean. Joining me now, captain of Antigua and Barbuda's netball team, Amey Lake. Amey, how are you? How are things in Antigua and Barbuda?
Hi, good afternoon. I'm great. Antigua is hot, but we're in the Caribbean, that's what we get.
Yeah, we expect hot sun. Can you share with us what sparked your interest in netball at a young age?
So she being an older sister, being a mentor, looking up to her, I just decided to follow in her footsteps.
Yeah, recently there was a village netball mixed competition in your country. Can you share with us your involvement in the competition and how your team performed?
Sure. Our team actually won. We shared the championship with another team. Both teams only lost one game each. And we were actually even on everything, points, goal average, every way we decided to look to see how we could determine a winner, and we were even on everything, even goals scored. So we just decided to share the championship. So that's how our team did. As for me, I was adjudicated MVP of the tournament.
Congratulations. Well, what's the upcoming competition that you're currently training for? Any competitions in Antigua that you may have, international competitions?
Actually, for being home, we don't have anything really planned. The national team was actually looking at a Fast Five.
Yeah.
In terms to do like a fundraiser for us as we're looking to go to the World Cup qualifiers in Jamaica in October of this year.
Okay, well, that's something that, I hope to talk to you a bit more about later in the interview. But how has the pandemic, the pandemic which has affected every one of us, how has that affected your personal training? Were there restrictions in Antigua that limited what you could and could not do?
Yeah, it was a tough time, I must say, for sports in general. We were actually on curfew where we had to be in by 11 p.m. And most of the girls actually work, so then we could only train like about 6:30, 7 o'clock in the evening, which made it a bit challenging because then you'd have to end at an early time because everybody lived at different parts of the island. So you'd have to finish in time for them to be able to get home before the curfew. For me, to keep fit, I actually learned how to play tennis. And that has really helped me during the pandemic. And it's something that I actually do now to actually keep fit as well outside of netball.
Yeah, I love that. So is it that we'll see you representing your country in tennis maybe later?
No, I think I'm too old for that one now to start the competing at that age.
Yeah, well, speaking about being old, which I'll say you're not, what's the youth netball program like in Antigua and Barbuda? What has the response been like?
I mean, we're trying to revive the youths in netball. We actually don't have a good program currently. We usually rely on the school's netball tournament. That's how we would actually see our youths in terms of choosing who would actually come and train with the national team.
Yeah.
But during the pandemic, there were no competitions, so it's very hard, which is why the association decided this time around we were going to have the community league, which we would actually go into the communities now and trying to reach the youths and encourage them to come out and play. We actually saw a good response from that, and it was the first in a very long time we actually saw the venue netball actually look like it was alive in the country again. So we were very pleased about it. Yeah. And from this now, we were able to select a few girls to come and train with us because we were only just relying on the same girls from the national team. So it was always the same people over and over. And even though you said you don't think I have age, I actually do have age. I'll be 40 in February.
Right.
So I'm looking to retire and hoping that there's some youths who can actually come up and we can pass the baton on to them.
Of course, the youths are the future. Well, you have previously expressed the hope that taking part in international competitions will give Antigua and Barbuda's netballers the opportunity to be selected for netball leagues around the world. Are the current crop of netballers that you have right now, are they prepared to take advantage of these opportunities?
We are. We're actually pretty excited. we actually had a meeting with the trainees the other day, and we were letting them know, the opportunities that are in netball for today. So when I started, you basically was just playing for the love of the sport, pride of country, fitness, just those simple things. It really didn't take you anywhere like basketball would or football would. So we did have a challenge in terms of that. But actually now you can go different places and represent. There's a tournament in England. There are tournaments now in Miami where they've actually invited us if we wanted to come and have a go at their competition. So you actually have different things. We went to Battle of the Saints in St. Martin, and you had this lady there from England who actually saw two of our players and were interested to see if they were willing to come to England and actually train with them.
Yeah.
So you're seeing opportunities now.
Right, and as you mentioned before, the America's World Cup qualifiers are coming up soon, a very important tournament as it will determine the two regional teams who will join automatic qualifiers Jamaica at the Netball World Cup. How excited are you about this competition? We're very excited here because I'm recording this episode from Jamaica, and we're looking forward to have you because SportsMax will be carrying it.
I'm excited. I must say I'm ecstatic. This is the first tournament of its kind that I would be going to. So I'm all excited to see the different players, the different types of plays, the class of plays. I mean, for me, when I was learning, I actually stole a style from this player. I'd like that part of their game. So I took it and I adapted to my game. And then I saw another part and I did. So I'm just excited to see how other countries play. And then I think the exposure would be good for our girls to gain the experience and to see what quality they have and what we can adapt and reach as long as we put our mind to it.
Well, recently I've been reading headline reports where your netball president, Karen Joseph, has expressed the need for sponsors to come on board to fund the country's participation in the Netball World Cup qualifiers. How difficult has it been to attract funding?
It's extremely difficult. I mean, netball was actually considered a dead sport in Antigua. I'm going to be honest. It has since revived since the new association that took place. We really are trying to get it going. But then outside of that, the pandemic actually it's hard for the companies now, financially. So whereas a person might be able to say, a company can say, I can commit to $500. We all know it's not a cheap tournament. We have 10 girls that we're trying to take. Ticket cost alone, is extremely expensive. Ticket cost, accommodation, food, uniforms, transport back and forth. And that's just for the girls. We're not referring to the coach, trainers. So it's extremely expensive, but we really don't have that commitment from the private sectors here in terms of netball.
Yeah, well, you've been involved with the netball administration in recent years. Do you see yourself, just remaining involved? Is that a key part of your future plans?
Yes, I'm actually devoted to making netball back to what it was that I remember it as a young girl growing up. It's really important to me. I love the sport. I really, really love the sport. So I do plan on staying involved with that. I've actually thought about coming on coaching as well. So I've actually looked at a few coaching courses that I could take because obviously I want to carry on. I want to give back to the sport still, and I won't be able to play forever. I've accepted that. So I think the only how I can give back is to actually pass on the knowledge that I have of the game.
Yeah, definitely good stuff there, Amey. Well, that aside, before we leave you, any personal goal that you have set for yourself for this tournament?
For the one in Jamaica?
Yeah.
I want to be MVP.
She wants to be the MVP and you're already.
I'm aiming high. I'm aiming high.
Well, top stuff. I think that's a great way to end our interview, and I want to thank you so much for joining us on In Case You Missed It. And I'm wishing you best of luck. I hope you manifest that MVP.
Thank you very much for having me, and thank you.
Welcome. Well, folks, that's a wrap for today's segment. Be sure to like, share, and comment. Let me know your thoughts on today's interview. Goodbye for now.
You're watching In Case You Missed It with Mariah Ramharack.